Hello, and welcome to my channel, where we daydream about audiophile magic and sound. Let's dive deep into my favorite speakers under €1,000. This is not a complete list of best speakers in market in this price range. It is rather my favorite picks, and I'm trying to explain why that is and what's good and bad about them. This could be revised every year or when I feel I heard plenty more new speakers in this price range, so I can add or remove speakers on the list and always revise it with time. And we will first start with Dali Spektor 2 as my favorite budget speakers. For how much they cost, they offer tremendous value. But they are also great with how musical they are. In my opinion, that is their biggest strength. It ties a lot of elements really good, creating sound that is punchy but not too forward, as creating a very pleasant experience. It is not clinical and it is not too detailed, and this is a budget speaker we're speaking. But it is a perfect speaker to slowly sway you in the world of audiophile prestige, as they'll be really fun to listen, providing a little bit of everything sonically, from soundstage, details, bass, clarity, all packaged in this beautiful musical whole. Next is my upper budget favorite speakers, and that is Focal Chora 806. What you get in these speakers is imaging and soundstage that belongs in €1,000 speakers. With the great looks, it is just a perfect introduction into a beautiful world of hi-fi. They're very airy, but they can control and master details around mid-range. They don't have triumphant lower end and are not the last word in a clinical listenings. But mid-range is creamy and beautiful, with sonics just hugging you in a very cozy listening. But you'll be floored with imaging, how present in the center is vocals, how the soundstage and instruments envelop you in this vast dispersion of sonics, and be amazed how vertical and horizontally you can track instruments. If you want more details, look at my review, and the link to that review will be in the detail of this video below. Kef Q150 are speakers that are serious early contenders for transparency and clarity, as they allow a lot of details and resolution to be present in treble. As such, a separation in soundstage is present, and texture and details of precisions, drumming, percussions, instruments is going to be more forward and present. Shape of instrument is vivid and present, as clarity of all those details that is hidden in a mid-range and treble is gonna be more pronounced. It truly gives your drums a feeling of presence, your bass, guitar, and vocals a firm place on the soundstage. It clears everything around all these elements, lifting fog and veil. I recommend this more than Q350. As for the price, you don't get that much more. You get a little bit more bigger bass, a little bit more resolving powers, but those speakers are kind of harder to accommodate by your rooms and amps. But if that is not a problem, then go and also consider Q350, as they have a bit more bass, a bit more resolving power, and if you like Q150, you should probably also look in Q350. Acoustics 3030i are a different story than Kef's, because here I recommend more their older, bigger brother. The reason for that is, in this budget option, bass is enchanting. It provides a whole lot of bass, which is very agile and commanding. It is not something that can challenge a tower speaker or subwoofer, but these are relatively compact bookshelf speakers, providing better accommodation and yet giving you very rhythmic and fun low end. They are also warm speakers, so it will not tire you or fatigue you. A great combination for those looking for extra bass, richness, and fullness in mids, and of course warm sound. For more details, check my review in the details below. Bowers & Wilkins 607 S3 are perfect lively speakers that are not as hard for your system or your room like their older brother of 606. And that is the reason that I chose it over 606, is that it offers all the great things as older brother, but because of a smaller size and less upped treble, it is easier to accommodate with good synergy partner and your room. It is punchy and detailed experience. It provides treble and mid-range, which is forward and giving you dynamics and expressions to die for. In this price range, it is providing experience which is pulsating and rhythmy and with forward presentation. It will make all your music sound more live and full of energy. It is a great recommendation for people who love that kind of sound, as nothing like that will you find in this level. And it is especially showing a lot of details in treble, and if that's something that you really like, then definitely look for these speakers. For more detailed review, please look in the description of this video. There will be a link to see my full, more detailed review. I lumped these two together because they are very similar speakers, both versatile and deliver a lot of value in their respective price ranges. They have a decent reach with soundstage, like dispersion and placing of instruments in their position is just great. Giving them a structure, it is also helped by also a good reproduction and resolving power, as details and textures help you feel those instruments and hearing a nuisance they have in, of course, production. But the greatest point I can give to these speakers is that the lower end and bass is very defined and pronounced, creating very interesting full and rich rhythmics, making sound really interesting to listen. It made listening sessions so fun, especially listening to like rock or electronic music, as it gave me a feeling of moving my body to the rhythm of the song. They have this balanced sound, a bit warm, but mostly balanced. But if incorrectly paired, they can sound a bit bright, also as the details in treble can be pushed a little bit up. I recommend these speakers if you are a bass enthusiastic, but also want a detailed sound from your music, which also has a great soundstage. For more detailed review, please look in the description of this video. You'll find a link to my review. These are my favorite speakers in this price range. They used to retail for more around 100 to 1000 euros, but price have dropped when new versions arrived. Lumina 2 Amateur. This is a great combination of details, rich and lovely timbre and warmth. It is kinda unique in this way that it can provide reproduction, which is more into that full, rich, warm side, but yet provide a lot of details and clarity so they can sound musical and yet audiophile grade. It is an incredible speakers that brought me with their romantic presentation. That is not some overly too warm, bloated sound. No, these have a serious soundstage to it, with defined instruments and rich treble. And vocals have this lovely timbre and decay that stays with you and surrounding you. And don't let me even start on how beautiful they look. So this can be almost considered a full package, if some at this price range did not bring more clarity, transparency at bass. which is not a minus per se for it not be a class leader at everything, as it brings much more, and in many scenarios it is such a musical and fun listen that I always, even when I have more expensive speakers, I always return to them. This is a great buy, and for more detailed review of these speakers, please look in the description of this video below. Dali is one of my favorite brands, and I listened to the few of their speakers over the years. And having Dali Oberon 5 for a long time in my home, I can say that this, and with a smaller brother, is where Dali peaked in value, as it brings all the great values from Manuet or Opticon for less money. They are so lovely, full sounding speakers that are brimming with musicality. They have a very expressive presentation that is pulling treble and mids towards you with punchy and agility, but yet are not overwhelming you with details. They are informative at showing details and textures, but not going its way to explain things too much. Also, imaging was really good. If you like your vocals firm in the center of your listening area, Dali will not disappoint, and it will provide with great soundstage dispersion. One thing about them that I don't like is while they are easy, really easy to place in a room, you must really care about pairing equipment. They are enough on the edge of a punch, dynamics and details, but overly punchy amps that can push the treble up can make like this problematic sound which can be too bright and too overwhelming. Dali 3 are obviously smaller and have less bass and presence, and are also less dispersion than bigger brother, but everything other are very similar, with big tower speakers being more musical, of course Dali Oberon 5, and having like this more lower end, more pronounced, and therefore they can also be, Oberon 5 can be more fun. I really recommend this, and please, soon at this channel there's going to be a review of Dali Oberon 5 and 3, so look in the description below this video to see the link for that review. They were recently far above 1000 and did not know should I include this or not, but recently they have been discounted dramatically, and I can say they are amazing for a certain type of audiophile lovers. That means having these airy speakers that deliver massive soundstage and impressive imaging. It is an easy listening speakers that have a decent enough of refinement with dynamics and details. It is not anemic experience that way, as you can sit and hear a lot of nuisances, texture and details in percussions and instruments, and vocals are really lovely as they expand and decay to a grand expression of breath and timbre. So it is a lovely, airy experience that is going to suit you into hours and hours of listening to music. To me, the biggest problem is if you want meat and punch out of these speakers, you should probably look elsewhere. They are very tame speakers with not many punch, treble or lower bottom. They stay firm into providing rich mids, but they cannot rock your world with upper treble or big lower end. This all can be a little bit mitigated by punchy amps and subwoofers, but still it is not for someone who loves this kind of live sound, like live grand punchy sound. But still, it is an amazing speaker that provide incredible soundstage, breath, timbre, imaging, just lovely. Thanks for watching this video of my favorite speakers under 1000 euros. Do you agree with me? Do you have your favorites that you think it should be here? Please let me know in comments. I always love to hear other audiophile opinions. Hi-Fi world is so vast and there is always a hidden gem in smaller companies, and I dream about hearing and knowing all in Hi-Fi world. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and donate if you can via Patreon. All the best. Bye.